Hi everyone. So today we are going to discuss about a concept called center of mass. Center of mass. First of all, let me tell you why this topic has to be discussed and what are the topics in the coming thing. So generally, when we throw some object into the air, let me take this marker have been thrown into the air obliquely. So it may move like this. So when I ask you that what is the path of this cat? What is the path of this ink? Some end. So we are unable to explain the path of the path traveled by the particles individually. So in that case, to explain the entire body, motion of the body, we can consider a point called center of mass, where the entire body mass is supposed to be concentrated and the all the external force is appear to act on that point. So by taking that point, we just explain the entire body motion. So to explain the motion of a body, to explain the body motion of a body, we will take a point called as a center of mass point, where the whole body mass is supposed to be concentrated, and the path followed by that point will be called as a path of the entire body. So that is why center of mass can be defined as, so according to definition, it is a point where the entire mass of the body appears to be concentrated. So the entire mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated there. Now, sir, how to find out the center of mass? How to find out the position of the center of mass? How many types of systems are there? So we will in detail discuss here to find out position of center of mass. To find out position of center of mass for three different systems. The first one is a system of two particles. A system of two particles, where two particles are taken at separation and where the center of mass of the two particles is to be concentrated. The second one, system of n discrete particles. N discrete particles. There are lot of number of particles and where the center of mass will be concentrated. And third one, continuous distribution of mass. Continuous distribution of mass. So where it is not like a particle, the whole body is concentrated, uniformly distributed. The mass is uniformly distributed. So for that, how to find out the center of mass? So let me take the first one, system of two particles. So we are going to find out the center of mass of two particles. Let me consider two particles of mass as m1 and m2. Are separated by a distance. Let me take d. The distance of separation is d or r. Now, so here m1 and m2 are kept at a distance of r. Now, as this is m2 is bigger, now you can say that center of mass will be lie very close to the bigger mass. So I can say somewhere not at exactly middle, it will be somewhere very close to the bigger mass. So let me take this as center of mass position. Now from this center of mass, the distance of the first particle is r1. The first particle is r1 and the second particle is at a distance of r2. Okay. Now as you know that the distance of mass from the center of mass is inversely proportional to mass. If more the mass, distance will be closer. So hence we can say that r is inversely proportional to mass. More the mass, less is the distance. So we can say that for two particles, r1 by r2 is nothing but inversely proportional, hence m2 by m1. r1 by r2 is equal to m2 by m1. So the ratio of the distances of two particles from the center of mass is inverse ratio of their masses. Then, and we already know that the sum of r1 and r2 is equal to r. The sum of r1 and r2 is equal to r. Hence, we can write small r is equal to r1 plus r2 can be obtained from this one as r2 is equal to r1 m1 by m2. So by taking LCM as m2, so we can get r1 m2 plus r1 m1 by m2. Now small r is equal to taking r1 common, r1 into m1 plus m2 by m2. Now I want r1, so sending m2 this side becomes multiplied and m1 plus m2 down. So r1 I will get m2 by m1 plus m2 into r. So this is the distance of the first particle from the center of mass, r1, obtained in the terms of r. r1 is equal to second mass by the sum of the masses into the distance between the both of them. So r1. Similarly, if you substitute in the place of r2, we will get r2 as m1 by m1 plus m2 into r. So this is where two particles are separated by a distance r. Then the distance of the first particle from the center of mass and the distance of the second particle from center of mass. Now let me take a case where if masses are same, if masses are equal, if m1 is equal to m2, then automatically r1, then r1 and r2 both are equal, because the place of this one m by m plus m becomes m by 2m, it will be cancelled, so becomes r by 2. So it means that for two equal masses, center of mass will be lie exactly at the midpoint. So that is the case. Now let me explain with an example. For example, there are two particles of masses 1 kg and 2 kg separated by a distance of 12 centimeters. Distance of 12 centimeters. Now, what is the position of center of mass from first particle 1 kg? They might ask you, what is the position of center of mass from first particle? Now, you know that at the middle the center of mass could not be lie because they are not equal, and 2 kg is heavier, hence the center of mass will be very close to the 2 kg. Hence, we know that this distance as r1. Now, we know the r1 formula. r1 is equal to m2 by m1 plus m2 into r. So, r1 is equal to m2. m2 is nothing but 2 kg by m1 is 1 plus 2 into the distance between both of them is 12 centimeters. Now, it is 2 by 3 into 12 centimeters can be 3 4s are and 2 4s are 8, so 8 centimeters. So R1 is 8 centimeters. The position of center of mass from the first particle is 8 centimeters. Automatically from the second particle it will be at 4 centimeters. Okay now. So this is how to find out the center of mass for two particle system. Now, if I take the two particles on x-axis or y-axis or z-axis separately, then what might be the formula? So we will derive that equation also. So this is the first one, system of particles, two particles. I will consider two particles of masses m1 and m2 on x-axis. On x-axis. Let me take, this is an x-axis. Origin is the reference point, and first particle of mass m1 is at a distance x1, and second particle of mass m2 is at a distance x2 from the origin. Now in between the center of mass will be there. So let me take, this is center of mass and its position will be x COM, x center of mass. Now we are going to derive the x center of mass formula. As we know that mass and the distance of mass from the center of mass is inversely proportional. The distance is inversely proportional to mass. So we can say that m is inversely multiplied with r, mr is constant. You can say that m1 r1 is equal to m2 r2. Now, so m1 is the first particle. What is r1? r1 is nothing but the distance of the first particle from center of mass. Let me take this as r1 and this as r2. Keep in mind, what is r1? r1 is the distance of the first particle from center of mass. r2 is the distance of second particle from center of mass. Now, so from the diagram we can say that we can write that m1 into r1 is nothing but this is r1 and we know that this is xcm minus x1. So we can say that xcm minus x1. This can be obtained by subtracting x1 from x center of mass is equal to m2 into r2. r2 is this distance, can be obtained by subtracting x center of mass from x2. So x2 minus x center of mass. Now I will multiply inside. So m1 x center of mass minus m1 x1 is equal to m2 x2 minus m2 x center of mass. So bringing this minus here becomes plus. So m1 x center of mass plus m2 x center of mass is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2. Taking x center of mass common, m1 plus m2 is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2. Now so we want x center of mass, so that m1 plus m2 get that side, then x center of mass is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 by m1 plus m2. So this is center of mass formula. So x center of mass is nothing but the distance of center of mass from the origin, and x1 is nothing but the distance of first particle from the origin. x2 means the distance of second particle from origin. So m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m1 by m1 plus m2. Now if I take the same system on y axis, let me take first particle at y1, second particle at y2. Then similarly y center of mass also. So m1 y1 plus m2 y2 by m1 plus m2, and you can say z axis also m1 z1 plus m2 z2 by m1 plus m2. Now here the first case, if the first particle is present at origin, if m1 kept at origin, it means its position is 0. Its position is 0. Then how to find out the center of mass? So x center of mass is equal to, as we know, m1 and x1, in the place of x1 keep 0, so it will become m1 into 0 plus m2 into x2 by m1 plus m2. So x center of mass will be m2 into x2 by m1 plus m2. This is what we got already with r. So center of mass position from the first particle r1 is equal to m2 by m1 plus m2 into the distance between them. Okay. So this is what for an x-axis. Now generally we take two particles in a plane, in a space. If we take an x-axis, only one axis, x is required. If it is on a plane, two x and y axis are required, and if it is a space x, y, z. Now we will consider two particles of masses. The first one is m1. Its position vector from origin is r1. It is a vector r1 bar, and second particle somewhere m2, its position vector is r2 bar. Then center of mass will be in between somewhere. This is center of mass. Its position vector is r center of mass. Then what is the formula for r center of mass? The same thing, just replacing x term with r. So r center of mass is equal to m1 into r1 plus m2 into r2 by m1 plus m2. So this is the vector notation. So position vector of center of mass is equal to m1 r1 plus m2 r2 by m1 plus m2. Now, so this entire thing is center of mass of system of two particles. Now we'll go to system of n discrete particles. If the system have n, not like 2, more than like 3, 4, 5, 6, like those many particles, then where the center of mass position is. So to find out the same thing, here we have taken 2 and we now take number of particles. So let me take some n particles of positions, like the first particle with respect to origin is r1, second is r2, third is r3, likewise rn. Then for n discrete particles, for n discrete particles. So R center of mass is equal to m1 into the position of the first one plus m2 into the position of second one and so on mnth and position of the nth particle by sum of the masses m1 plus m2 plus m3 and so on mn. The same formula, just we have added some more particles. Now, for example, if center of mass is present at origin, if R center of mass is origin, means its position is 0, then, so keeping RCM is 0, then 0 is equal to m1 R1 plus m2 R2 and so on mn Rn by, this is total mass of the system of particles m1 plus m2 become capital M I will write. Now as m will go this at 0, so 0 is equal to m1 R1 plus m2 R2 plus and so on mn Rn. So m1 R1 plus m2 R2 and so on mn Rn is equal to 0. This we can call it as sum of moments of masses. Sum of moments of masses. So what do you mean by moment? Moment of mass. Moment of mass is nothing but the mass into the position vector of the particle. So this is sum of mass moments. Sum of mass moments is 0 when the center of mass itself at the origin. Okay, so this is what with a position vector. If you are taking x-axis as the first particle is at x1, second particle is at x2, third one is at x3 and so on, the same formula will be written: x center of mass is equal to m1x1 plus m2x2 plus and so on mn xn by m1 plus m2 plus and so on mn. Similarly, we can write y center of mass and z center of mass also. Now, so this is what about system of n discrete particles. Now we will just discuss 2 or 3 problems based on these particles. Okay. Let me consider there are 3 masses. There are 3 masses: 1 kg, 2 kg and 3 kg are kept on the vertices of an equilateral triangle of side A in such a way that the first and second particle must be on the x-axis, and first particle will be at origin and second particle is on the somewhere x. Then find the center of mass. Once again, there are 3 particles of masses 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg kept at the vertices of equilateral triangle of side A. So let me take an equilateral triangle of side A. And there are three particles. First particle 1 kg is kept at origin. We know that origin is nothing but 0, 0. And second particle 2 kg kept on the x-axis. Hence y coordinate will be 0 and x coordinate will be a, because the side length is a, 0. And on the third vertex 3 kg is kept. Now, where the center of mass of the 3 particles located? Okay now. So the first thing here, it is a discrete particles, like 3 particles are there. We should go for discrete particle system, and we already have the coordinates of xy coordinates of first one and second one, and we don't know the third one. So if we find out the third one coordinates, then it is easy to find out the center of mass coordinates. Now as it is an equilateral triangle, and you can say that all sides are equal length a. Now and I can say this is an altitude which divides the side with a by 2. Now as it is an equilateral, the side of the triangle is, the angle of the angle is 60 degrees. Now from this triangle I can apply sine 60 degrees. Sine theta available. Sine theta is equal to opposite by hypotenuse. So opposite is what we require is y. So y by hypotenuse is a. So sine 60 is root 3 by 2 is equal to y by a. From this one we can get y as root 3 by 2 times a. So we got now y coordinate of the third particle, and this is x coordinate a by 2. So hence x is also like x is a by 2. So now we got the x and y coordinates of third particles also. So x is a by 2 and root 3 by 2a. Now we got xy coordinates of all the three masses. Then apply the formula: x center of mass and y center of mass. So as you know that x center of mass is m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 by m1 plus m2 plus m3. So m1 is 1 kg, its x1 is origin, so 0, plus m3 is 2, and its coordinate is a, plus m3 is 3 and coordinate is x coordinate is a by 2 by m1 plus m2 plus m3. It is 0 and it is 2a and it is 3a by 2. So 2a plus 3a by 2 by 6. So if you take LCM, now here you will get 4a plus 3a is 7a, and 2 into 6 12. So 7a by 12 is the x center of mass. And similarly we can apply y center of mass also. I am not writing this the formula: m1 by 1 plus m2 by 2 plus m3 by 3 by m1 plus m2 plus m3. Then m1 is 1 and its coordinate is 0, m2 is 2, its y coordinate is 0, m3 is 3, its y coordinate is root 3 by 2a by m1 plus m2 plus m3, 1, 2, 3 will be 6. Now it will be 3 1 are 3, 2 are, so you will get root 3 by 4a. So x center of mass is 7a by 2, y center of mass is root 3 a by 4. So you can write coordinates of center of mass is 7a by 12 comma root 3 by 4a. So this is how to find the center of mass of a three particles which are kept on the vertices of an equilateral triangle. So we go for one more example. Yes. Now I will take four particles. I will keep the four particles on the corners of vertices of a square. Now where the center of mass will be. So I am taking a square ABCD such a way that A is called origin, AB is along x-axis, AD is along y-axis. So A is of 1 kg and B is of 2 kg and C is of 1 kg and D is of 2 kg. Okay, now I kept equal masses along the diagonals. Okay, and side length is L. So square of side length L. Now where the center of mass supposed to be concentrated. If all masses are equal, and we certainly say that the center of mass will be the point of intersection of the two diagonals if masses are equal, but masses are different, then we will see where the center of mass will be present. Right. Now the first thing is we need to identify the coordinates, xy coordinates of each particle, then apply the formula. Okay. Now as it is kept at origin, so its coordinates will be 0, 0. And the second one is it is present on x-axis L, so L comma 0 because y coordinate is 0. And here the fourth one, this distance is L, again x coordinate is 0, so that 0 comma L. And the third one, it is at L distance and L distance along y-axis, hence L comma L. Now we got all the coordinates and apply the formula x center of mass. So here we have four particles, so we need to write m1x1 plus m2x2 plus m3x3 plus m4x4 by m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus m4. Now, so first particle is of mass 1 kg and its coordinate is 0, plus second particle is of 2 kg, its coordinate is L. Third particle is of mass 1 kg and its coordinate is L. Fourth mass is 2, its coordinate is 0 by m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus m4. Okay now? Then as it is 0 0 and 2L and 1L become 3L, and this is 2, 4 and 6, so that 3L by 6 is L by 2. So x center of mass is L by 2, and we can simply say that y center of mass also by the same formula, as I given masses are same along the vertices of diagonal, so that you may get exactly center. So we will just find out the center of mass of coordinate of center of mass along y-axis. Now this is the same formula, m1 by 1 plus m2 by 2 plus m3 by 3 plus m4 by 4 by m1 plus m2 plus m4. Okay. Then m1 is 1 and its coordinate is 0, m2 is 2, its coordinate is 0, m3 is 1, coordinate is, and m4 and coordinate is L. By again the sum of the masses will be 6, as it is 0 and again 3L by 6 becomes L by 2. It means that exactly the point where the diagonals meet, because I have given the opposite masses are same, hence their moments cancel, so that they may say that it will be center mass present at the center is a point where the diagonals meet. Okay, so this is what center mass position for n discrete particles. Okay, and let me discuss one more thing. Sometimes they might ask you the questions like, there are two particles of masses 1 kg and 2 kg. One kg and 2 kg, and the center of mass will be very closer to the 2 kg mass particle, you know. Right? Now, if 1 kg mass is shifted by a distance d towards the center of mass, then by what distance the second 2 kg particle must shift so that center of mass will get the same position. So if 1 kg mass shifted by D towards center of mass, then by what distance 2 kg mass must shift so that center of mass will remain at same position. Let me take the center of mass is here. Now I shifted the first particle by a distance d. It means that this is center of mass, this is m2, m1 now shifted by a distance d. The particle is shifted by d, and automatically the mass has to be shifted in the leftward direction. M2 must shift in the leftward direction so that center of mass will be at the same situation, same position. If M2 is shifted this direction, automatically the system is shifted this way and center of mass may change. Hence, to keep the center of mass at the same position, if first particle is shifted towards the center of mass, automatically second particle also shifted towards the center of mass. Now, as you know that the formula will be x center of mass is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 by m1 plus m2. So I will just apply a concept called delta change. So where the center of mass position is not changed, not at all changed, so it's 0. Delta means change in position of center of mass, and m1 into change in position plus m2 into change in position by m1 plus m2 again getting this side becomes 0. So this thing I can apply there. So here 0 is equal to mass of the first particle is as 1 kg into the shift is towards right side, and I will take the shift towards right side is positive and towards left side is negative. Then this is shifted d plus m2 is 2 kg and we don't know the shift. Now 1d plus 2 delta x2 is equal to 0. Now 2 delta x2 is equal to, bringing this side, it is minus d, and delta x2 is equal to, so 2 is multiplying here, so it will be minus d by 2. So why we got minus means we need to shift the second mass towards left side, and by how much? D by 2. So the first particle is shifted by d units, second must be shifted by d by 2 because mass is different, is 1 kg and 2 kg. Simply you can do this one by like sum of moments of masses is 0, like m1 x1 plus m2 x2 is also 0. So you can get m1 into d is equal to m2 into some thing to be found out. You can get the same answer. Okay. Now, and we can go for one more thing. They might ask you like, there are 3 particles of masses 1 kg, 2 kg and 3 kg. Their center of mass is somewhere like 4 by 3 comma 4 by 3 comma 4 by 3, somewhere in the space. So the center of mass of 3 particles 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg at 4 by 3, 4 by 3, 4 by 3. Now where the fourth particle be kept so that center of mass will be at origin. So where we need to keep the fourth particle 4 kg so that center of mass will come to origin. Initially for the three particles the center of mass is maybe at 4 by 3, 4 by 3, 4 by 3. But now they are asking where the fourth particle of mass 4 kg to be kept so that center of mass will come to origin. Now how to do this one? So generally the first thing what we know is for the three particles, let me take x center of mass. X center of mass is equal to, there are three particles, their center of mass is at 4 by 3, 4 by 3, 4 by 3. They are asking now where the fourth particle must be kept so that center of mass is at origin. Now as we know for three particles, x center of mass will be m1 x1 plus m2 x2 m3 x3 by m1 plus m2 plus m3. Then center of mass is 4 by 3 and I will write the same thing here, m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 by m1 plus m2 plus m3. Then this will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. So 3 1s are 3 2s are. So it becomes 8. So m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3, we got the first one. Now fourth particle is added so that center of mass is at origin. For the four particles, this is for three particles. This is for four particles. Now the same formula, x center of mass m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3. 4 particles, hence m4 x4 by m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus m4. Now as it is 0, center of mass is 0, then m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3, from the first equation we got 8. So 8 plus m4 is, the given m4 is 4 and its position we don't know, by the sum of the masses. Anyhow it will be m, and after going to this side it becomes 0. So 0 is equal to 8 plus 4 x4. Now solving it, minus 8 by 4 is minus 2. So x4 is minus 2. Now we can simply say that x4 is minus 2 and y4 and z4 also minus 2. Hence the fourth particle must be kept at minus 2 comma minus 2 comma minus 2 so that the center of mass will come to origin. So this is what about the center of mass of system of n discrete particles. Okay, now this one also done. And now the third one, how to find out center of mass for a continuous distribution of mass. So where a mass continuously distributed. So for that, how to find out the center of mass. Now, as it is continuously distributed, not like a discrete particles, we supposed to take any small element, and then we need to apply integral method to find out the center of mass. So why? Because as the second formula I was just converting into the third one as, and we know that x center of mass is equal to, for discrete particles m1 x1 plus m2 x2 and so on mn xn by m1 plus m2 plus and so on mn. This can be written as sum of the terms called as sigma, where I starts from 1 to n, which is mi xi, by sigma I starts from 1 to n mi. Now this is for discrete particles. To convert into a continuous distribution of mass, we need to change this summation symbol to integration. Hence, we should write instead of this sigma, we are writing integral symbol. And mass of this is a discrete particles, whereas we are taking an element mass, hence its mass will be dm. Element mass is very small mass dm. D means small, and x is the position, hence we can say some x. The particle dm is located at x by this sigma to be changed with integral, and mass of element as dm. So now for continuous distributed masses, we can write the formula for center of mass in an x-axis as integration of x dm by integration of dm. With the position vector, we can say center of mass or center of mass is equal to integration of r dm by integration of dm. Integration of dm is nothing but simply m. So sometimes you can say 1 by m into integration of r dm. Okay, right. Now, so how to apply this? How to apply this one to find the center of mass for some continuous distributed masses. Now let me take a rod. Rod is not a discrete particle. Rod is a continuous distributed mass. How to find out the center of mass for a rod? Now consider a rod of length capital L and mass capital M. Then how to find out the center of mass? When it is kept on x-axis such a way that one end is at origin, one end is at origin and another end, as this length is L, so that this is x equal to L. Now where the center of mass will be located? Generally we know that as it is the same distributed mass or uniformly distributed mass, so hence we can say that exactly center. Now how to find out this one? So by applying that integral method. Now for this type of things we need to take an element. This is the whole length of the rod. Now I am taking a small rod of length dx, very small dx, which is located at a distance x from the origin. Now I will just apply the formula there. So we know that x center of mass, and it is on x-axis. X center of mass is equal to integration of x into dm by integration of dm. So it can be obtained by keeping a certain proper limits, where the limit starts from 0 to L. So I have taken this small element somewhere else. No, the small element can be start from here. So the initial limit is 0 and it can be here. So final limit is L. Okay. Now, so x we already know, but what is dm? Mass of small element. How to find out? You know that the total mass is m and total length is L. Now what is the mass per unit length? So mass per unit length is m by L. Mass per unit length is m by L. This will be called as linear density also. Linear mass density, mass per length. Now this is per unit length. Now we have a small element of length dx. Length is dx. For 1 unit we know that mass is m by L. For dx, what is the mass? So then for dx, mass is just m by L times dx, which is nothing but dm. So we can just keep it in the formula. Then we may get x center of mass is equal to integration of x into dm is nothing but m by l into dx, where limits are from 0 to l, by integration of dm is nothing but m by l into dx. Now x center of mass is equal to, as m l constants, take it out, they will not participate in integration. Hence m by l integral 0 to l x dx by m by l integration of dx from 0 to l. Now as it is like x power sub n, and we know that integration of x power n dx is equal to x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Hence we can say that, and m by l cancels, then x center of mass is equal to x power 1 means x power 2 by 2 limits 0 to l by this is dx integration is x limits 0 to l. Hence keeping first limit, so l square by 2 minus lower limit is 0, so that 0 by this is x means l, so l square by 2 by l, so we can say that l by 2. So for a rod of uniformly distributed mass, the center of mass will be present at l by 2 means exactly at midpoint. Now they might ask you, find out the center of mass of a rod where it is not uniformly distributed. The density may increase with respect to the linear mass density, increase with respect to x-axis. Now in that case, how to find out the center of mass? Now let me solve one more thing. Is it okay? Right. So for example, take a rod of length L. Again, taking a rod of length L, and its linear density is increasing. It is not uniformly distributed. Density keep on increases. For example, in the first portion, particles are less denser. As we are going to increase, might be increases, density increases. Hence, linear mass density lambda is given as some a plus bx. So lambda is a function of x they have given. Now how to find out the center of mass? It is not exact at middle, maybe somewhere other side of the midpoint. So how to find out? The same formula we can apply. X center of mass is equal to integration of x dm by integration of dm. Now, so let me consider again a small element of length dx and mass dm. Now, so how to find out this dm? As you know that lambda is nothing but mass per unit length, and what is the mass of this dx point? So dx x center of mass is equal to integration of x into, per unit it is a plus bx, for dx part simply a plus bx times dx, because we know that dm by dx also lambda, because mass per length is equal to a plus bx. We want dm, hence lambda dx. So instead of dm, we will write lambda dx by integration of dm is nothing but lambda dx by the proper limits 0 to l. Then x center of mass is equal to, so we will multiply inside, it becomes integration of ax plus bx square limits 0 to L whole dx by integration 0 to L a plus bx whole dx. Now x center of mass is equal to, now a is a constant and x will be x power 1, so we know the formula x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Now it will be x square by 2, so that a into x square by 2 plus b into, as it is x square, hence integration is x power 3 by 3, the limits are 0 to L by integration of a is a constant, so that x plus bx square by 2, the limits are 0 to L. So by keeping the proper limits, so we will get x center of mass is equal to a L square by 2 plus b L cube by 3 by a L plus b L square by 2, because the second limit is 0, again 0. So here I'll just take L square out and here L out. So x center of mass can be L square out and it will become a by 2 plus bl by 3, L out, so that a plus bl by 2. Then x center of mass is equal to, here 1 L cancel, so L, here LCM will be 6, so it will become 3a plus 2bl by 6 by, here already L cancel, so that it will become 2a plus bl by 2. So 2 1 2, 3 are. Hence we can write x center of mass is equal to L into 3a plus 2bl by 3 times 2a plus bl. So this is what center of mass position. If we know these constants values a and b, then we will get the correct answer where exactly the center of mass will be present. So this is the procedure to find out position of a center of mass of a rod where its linear mass density was given. So by taking the small element and then applying the integration method. So this is for continuously distributed masses. Now we have number of continuously distributed masses. So we will just stepwise we can find out the center of mass positions. So let me take the second one. This is the first one, rod, and the second one. For a complete ring like a circle, we know that center of mass will be present at the exact center. Now, if I take a semicircular ring, like half ring, where the center of mass will be present. Now, we are going to discuss that. So, center of mass position for semicircular ring. For semicircular ring. Let me take a ring. It's a semicircle. Origin and ring radius is, let me take capital R. Now we are going to find out the center of mass position for this semicircular ring. By seeing it has a symmetry about y-axis, like some part is plus x-axis side and some part is minus x-axis side, so that their moments will be cancelled. So that only there is an option to find out the y center of mass. Now what I will do? So as it is, the ring is continuously distributed masses, I need to take an element. Now I will take a small element at an angle theta, a small element at an angle theta, and which makes a small angle actually delta theta or d theta, and this length is some dl. So there is an element where it is present, it is making theta angle with x-axis, and it is like a small sector, okay na? Right, and its y coordinate will be, let me take as a y, because it has a symmetry along x-axis. Because if I take the same element this side also, I will get some x component, and here also x component. They both will cancel. So x center of mass will pakka lie at the origin, and y we need to find out. That is why I am taking y component. Now, as we know the formula for continuous bodies, y center of mass is equal to integration of y into dm by integration of dm. Now y we can get from the triangle, no problem. But what is dm? Dm is that element mass. Now we know that the total ring mass is m. And what is the total ring length? As it is the half circle, full circle is 2 pi r and half circle is pi r. Hence, what is the mass per unit length? Mass per unit length is equal to capital M by length is pi r. Mass per unit length is m by pi r. Now, what is this length? Now, from the arc concept of arc sector, arc length is equal to radius into angle. So, from the sector concept, arc length dl is equal to radius times angle d theta. So, dl is equal to r d theta. So, mass per unit length is this much. And for this length, what is the mass? So, multiply. So, for element, the mass is m by pi r into the length is dl. But we know that dl is nothing but m by pi r into r d theta. Now, r cancel, so that it is m by pi into d theta. So, you come to the y center of mass here. So, y center of mass is equal to integration of y value from this triangle. So, we can apply sin theta. Sin theta is equal to y by r. So, that from there r sin theta into dm value m by pi into d theta by integration of dm value m by pi into d theta. So, we can apply the proper limits, as theta can be from 0 to 180 degrees. So that limits are from 0 to pi. So y center of mass is equal to, so here r is a constant, m and pi constant, take it out, and sin theta will be participated in integration. So integration of sin theta will be minus cos theta. So here m r by pi taking out, and integration of sin theta will be minus cos theta. Limits are from 0 to pi by here m by pi taking out, integration of d theta will be theta. Limits are from 0 to pi. Now, substituting first one, minus cos pi also minus 1, hence it is 1. Minus this 0, cos 0 is 1, so it becomes 2. So y center of mass is equal to mr by pi into 2 by m by pi into pi. So m by pi cancels. So you will get 2r by pi. So this is the center of mass of a semicircular ring. So it might be somewhere here. What is the formula for semicircular ring center mass position? 2 times radius by pi. So from the origin it may be situated somewhere here. Okay na? So this is the way to find out the center of mass of a continuously distributed masses. So first we find for rod and second one is for semicircular ring. Likewise we can find for semicircular disc and hemisphere, hollow and solid one, and vertical circular cone, solid and hollow sphere also. So I will give you the just formulas for that, the position formulas for that. If it is for semicircular disc, the same thing here, but it is a ring, now group of rings. So semicircular disc. Now for this, from the origin, the height is 4r by 3 pi. 4r by 3 pi. And after that, hemisphere. If it is hollow, the position is r by 2. If it is solid, the position is 3r by 8. And circular cone, if it is hollow, there is a total height is h. So that the center of mass will be at h by 3. This is the center of mass. This is the center of mass for hollow. If it is solid, the center of mass will be h by 4 from the base of the circular cone. So these are the things where the center of mass positions can be found out for system of two particles and system of discrete particles and continuous distribution of masses. So let me discuss on two problems based on the position of the center of mass. How to find out the center of mass positions. In some situations, they will not give you the mass. They just give you the planar objects. Like, let me take two discs of radius. One is capital R, another is 2R. They are just kept attached like this. The first disc is of radius capital R, and the second one is of radius 2R. Now, where the center of mass will be present? From the center of the smaller disc. If they ask you this type of questions, they will not give you the masses, but now you can get the center of mass position by taking corresponding areas. Actual formula for this one is, if it is on x-axis, center of mass formula is m1 x1 plus m2 x2 by m1 plus m2, but they have not given masses. Now we can consider their corresponding areas. Now you can write this one as a1 x1 plus a2 x2 by a1 plus a2. Now as you know that a1 the first disk area, so pi r square into x1. As I told you, I am asking center of mass from this point, so take this point as a origin so that it is 0 plus a2 as a bigger disk pi into 2r whole square, and the center of mass is of the second disk is at 3r, so position is 3r by a1 plus a2, so pi r square plus pi into 2r whole square. Now you can say that it is 0 and it is 12 pi r cube by this pi r square, it is 4 pi r square, 5 pi r square, hence pi cancels, r cancels, 12 by 5 into r. So this is what x center of mass. It's nearly 2.4 r. So it means that from here center of mass will be present at 2.4. Already this is r and 2.4 means it will be very close to this one. So it might be the center of mass. Means center of mass will be lying in the heavier object. So this is the way when they have not given the masses. Now we can find out the center of mass position by considering their appropriate areas. Now there is one more case. How to find out the center of mass for truncated objects? Means if some portion of the object is removed, how to find out the center of mass? Let me take one example. For example, there is a circular plate of side 2a. So that I can just divide it like quadrants. Now this portion is removed. If this portion is removed, now where the center of mass will be? So I can simply say that from the whole object some part is removed. Now for this type of things we can use the same formula but with the negative side. By taking the removed portion as a negative, so you can apply the same formula x center of mass as m1 is nothing but the whole body into x1 minus m2 into x2. So minus because we have removed this part. From the total. So removed as per sign convention we are taking minus by m1 minus m2. And we know that as the masses are we don't know, but we can compare with the areas. We can write x center of mass as a1 x1 minus a2 x2 by a1 minus a2. So if at all we are taking 0, 0 as an origin and it is x axis, it is y axis. This is x as this is y. Now we can simply get the formula as xcm is equal to a1, area of the bigger one. So where a1 is nothing but area of whole plate, a2 is nothing but area of removed plate. Now a1 side is 2a, so that it is 4a square. Area side into side 4a square into the position of center of mass is 0 because origin minus a2 is only this portion, so its side is a, this is a, so it is a square into this is the center of mass of the removed portion, where this is A and subdivided it will be A by 2 by A1 minus A2. Hence it is 0 minus it is A cube by 2. This is 3A square. So A cube by 2 into 3A square. Hence it will be A by 6. So center of mass will be somewhere here A by 6. This is X. Like the same way we can find out the Y also. But generally I will give a hint for this one. Here what we did, I just kept minus for removed mass. If the whole body is already at origin, now it will be 0 and minus. This is removed mass now. So I can write this one as M2 as a removed mass and H2 as the distance of the removed mass center from the original center of mass by M1 is the total mass minus M2 is the removed mass. So when removed is there from the total, so we can say that remaining will be remaining mass. So I can just write this formula for this one as a shift. Shift in center of mass or shift of center of mass removed by mass remaining into D. So where D is called as distance of center of removed portion from center of mass of original body. So I can simply say that from the entire plate, if you remove some part, automatically center of mass will be shifted. So let me take the same thing. The total is here, the center of mass will be there. Now when you remove this one, automatically the center of mass will be shift this direction. And this shift is nothing but shift in center of mass is equal to removed mass by remaining mass into D. We'll just go for some problem. For example, there is a circular disc of radius capital R. There is a disc of radius capital R. From this disc, I have removed a disc in such a disc of diameter capital R in such a way that it touching the periphery. Now I have removed one more disc whose diameter is R and whose radius is R by 2. Now if I remove this one, automatically the remaining portion will be this one. Then the center of mass will be shifted towards this direction. So center of mass may be here. So this is old center of mass, this is new center of mass. Then this will be called as the shift. This will be called as shift. And what is D? D is the distance of removed center from the original. Now this will be called as D. Now how to find out the shift? Then shift is equal to, here masses are not given, but we can compare with the areas. So we can say that area removed by area remaining into D. Now area removed, so it is a disc of radius R by 2, so that pi into R by 2 whole square by total area is pi R square minus area remaining means area total minus area removed. So pi into R by 2 whole square into D. D is nothing but here R by 2. So you can say that shift is equal to pi R square by 4 by, it is pi R square minus pi R square by 4, it is 3 pi R square by 4. into r by 2. Hence scratch will cancels. So shift is equal to r by 6. So the shift of the center of mass will be r by 6. Now you can try for one more thing. Let just take a sphere, solid sphere of radius capital R. From that capital R, just remove one small sphere of radius r by 2 by touching the periphery. Then you can find out the shift in center of mass for that type of the problem. Okay. So this is where we have done with center of mass and how to find out the center of mass for two particle system and discrete particle system, and after that continuous mass distribution and calculating center of mass position by comparing areas rather than masses, and for truncated objects like removed portions, what is the shift in the center of mass. Okay, right. Then we can go for motion of the center of mass in the next one.